Hey guys, welcome back to another Truck Cab Chronicles. We're heading up here in my machine. Gonna do some mulching today. Getting some of these rich folks want some deer lanes and duck lanes and duck holes cleaned up. We're gonna mulch them down to the ground, make it look like a super highway. It's gonna look good. I might even get some of that GoPro type footage and some drone footage of that. That'll be really fun. How you like the new hats? Now this offset one, that's exclusive to the GG himself. I can't be giving all those out. I might do some of those. I got a few hats left. I guess this color wasn't as big of a hit as some of the other ones, the blues and the grays and stuff like that, but we gotta try something different. You know, you can't always do the same thing. You know, we gotta try it up, do a little something different. I just sent out the first batch of hats that were ordered. Really fun there, really awesome. I appreciate anybody who's bought those. That kind of stuff helps me pay for some of like the new GoPro cameras. I bought a new GoPro camera, and then I bought a housing that goes around it that keeps it cool. So one of the problems with GoPro cameras is they're black, of course, so they get very hot in the sun. And when you start recording, they're getting hot, 100-degree heat, and they tend to shut down. So I bought, it's actually really cool. Let me see if I can actually get it without messing up the camera here. All off the road, all off the road. No, luckily we're on the back road farms. But this is actually it. It's the camera fits in here. And it has this little brushless fan. It messes up the sound. The sound, you cannot use the sound aspect of the GoPros, but you can record in 100-degree heat. Trust me, I've got some great footage. Y'all seen some lately. Some great footage. But what I want to talk about today is, I watch all the, you're starting to see some anglers dropping out of the tours and things like that. People are starting to, some anglers are dropping out. I saw Jacob Fouts come up and, he did his little report on how much money he's made, how much money he's spent. And I think some of these things are and I saw he throwed some shots out at Ben Milliken. Boy, that ought to make them really good fun when they're standing in line next to each other. Because Milliken throwed out some shots at him early in the year. I see a lot of these guys, they're talking, about, and I've said it so many times, and I wonder if I personally, myself, were making $0 at a job, I'm going to move on to another job. I'm going to move on to another situation and things like that. But it just is impossible for me to believe that if an angler is just breaking even, that they'll keep going unless the status of these tours is selling, is allowing them to bring income in other ways. Like Fouts gave his report on what he made, but he didn't say anything about guide trips. He didn't say anything about, appearance fees. He didn't say anything about the amount of money brought in through sponsors, and he's getting money off sponsors. He did not say any of that because he doesn't want that to come out, because that will ruin the narrative. It's kind of it's a media type deal. When you control the narrative, when you don't put that information out, then you can still bring on the pity party. Now, some people got out, and when they get out, they just they say they can't afford it, and that's fine. But there's a lot of them that don't capitalize on and we've said this in other videos, capitalize on the status of being, or the title of being, an Elite Series or MLF angler and that type of deal. There's a lot of people. I'm going to bring up this guy, Brian Latimer. He doesn't fish one of the bigger tours. He fishes the tour below, I guess the invitationals, MLFs. He doesn't always win. He's not always in the money, but he has learned how to make money using the status of, now don't get me wrong, he won in the past, and I like Latimer. I'm a big fan of Latimer, huge fan, and I like him not only because I like what he does with the lessons. I love him the way he does with his children. You know, he's always involving his kids. I think that's amazing. And so, which I think kids are so important to take fishing and be part of the deal. So it's you can make money by using the titles of that, and that's where a lot of pro anglers, either they're not telling you, or they're not you know, they're not telling you, or they're not capitalizing on those situations. Now, what I want to know is this. This is what this whole video is about. We know where those anglers are doing it, and they're just, I think they're lying. I think a lot of them are lying. But would it be better, and this is a question I've thought about, it's fun to watch them. It's fun to watch these tournaments. And I know some people are going to say, after I say this, that, and we'll cover that in just a second, would it be better if the tournament trails just didn't exist? Would that be something? I mean, the sport of fishing is an all-time popular. 99.9% of the people do not go out and fish tournaments. 99.9% of the people do not enter tournaments. They just go fishing to have fun. Would having no tournament trails, would it affect? I mean, because the reason things are as expensive and high as they are, the moment, like, something will come out and it'll be I'm going to use a low number here, $2. The moment sponsorships start getting signed, it's $4, $5, $6. Things go up exponentially to pay for the advertisement of paying these pros, and then owners of those companies, they've got to justify paying for them, sales and stuff like that. Would it be better, pricing-wise, if the tournaments just weren't there? The trails weren't just there. All we hear is negative about nobody makes money, nobody makes money, nobody makes money. We're out here just giving the money. The tournament trails are just giving the money. The tournament trails are only profiting. Why don't y'all just stop fishing them? Why don't they just cease to exist? Because I hear this a lot in everyday point of life. You know, well, the workers are doing all the money and the bosses are the ones with they're the ones making all the money. When you start a tournament angler, like tournament association like Bass, you got trailers, you got to set up the tournaments, you got to market the tournaments, you've got to work on TV deals, and, you know, and unless you're the NFL, you've got to pay to get your stuff on TV. A lot of places you have to pay. Trust me, I've went through trying to create a show, and to create a show, even just a streaming type show, I would have to pay $10,000, $20,000 to be on the not on the shows that they push, just a show on their streaming device, not even one they advertise, and then you turn around and sell the advertising. But this is things that nobody takes into account. Everybody always talks about the employees or this, that, and another, but the owner's the one taking all the risk. The owners, when they have to put, so I get so tired of hearing that. I get so tired of hearing about, well, there's not enough payback. Well, if you do the math on a Elite Series tournament, let's just say 100 anglers, 5,000. We're just going to be straight like that. 5,000, 100 anglers. What is that? $500,000? There you go. 100 anglers, $5,000 tournament entry fee. Is that right? Is that right? $500,000? Am I right on that? Let me do the math. 1,000 times 5 is 5. So that's 500,000. Yeah, there you go. And they pay 10,000 down to what, 50th place? That's $500,000. Then you have your winner, 100,000, and it goes down. They're paying out more money than the entry fees that are put in. They're paying out more money than the entry fees put in. So anglers are like, you know, well, we can't make a living. When the tournament trails first started, people had regular jobs, and then they would get off and go to the tournaments and then go back and fish the tournament trails. And then if you were really, really good, you may quit and move into that industry and that type of deal. So with all that being said, would it be better if the tournaments just didn't exist? If the tournament trails just didn't exist? Would prices of items come down? Some people are going to come say, well, that's why we have all these cool things. What do you think? The companies are just going to sit around and go, no tournament trails, let's just stop inventing things. No, they're not going to do that. Because the industry is driven on social media type things now. I mean, people watch my channel. I mean, I don't even know how many views I got last year. 6, 7 million, 10 million. I'd have to go back and look. We're on pace for over that this year. So the views happen in a different way now. Our tournament trails, which used to be their way of getting products out, they don't need them anymore. So sometimes these anglers do not realize they're the ones that's kind of, they're messing up their own world here by griping and complaining and crying. You only fish 9 tournaments a year. Find you a job, a guide service, guiding, things like that will take up the other 45 and do the work. Now, if I could fish the Elite Series, I'm not that good, but if I could fish the Elite Series, I promise you I could find something to do for the other 40 weeks out of the year, 42 weeks out of the year to make the bid, to pay the bills. I create companies. You could create a company. You could work in the off season. There's so many things you can do, but instead of crying, these anglers are trying to live off of 9 to 10 weeks of work a year. And, you know, they're trying to work 10 weeks a year and spend the other 40 promoting sponsors and think that that's what they're supposed to do. I'm so sick and tired of hearing it. So I wonder if the tournament trail is going away. Wouldn't be the best thing that happened. Would it be the best for the industry? Would it be best for the pricing of the industry and all of that? Prices are driven by, you know, supply and demand. As long as people will pay the stuff, they're going to keep jacking the prices up. We all know that it doesn't cost that much to make these things, but if you pay it, they're going to buy it. They're going to charge it as much as we charge it. So you have to wonder if the things that made it great before with all the professional fast fishermen, these fishermen are ruining it, in my opinion, by doing all the griping and complaining. Why don't we give them what they want? Just eliminate the stuff. If they can't make a living, let's just take the crap out of there. But hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I can't wait to see the backlash I'll get on this one. Ring the bell. There you go. Oh God, that's. Hey fish, scoping them boys. No, you ain't. You gonna stay? Oh, he's hung. He's right there. Look, he is a big one. He's still on. He's hung right there. Oh my God. Here, Drake, hold it. Hold the pole. Don't pull. Scoping them boy. You boy keep throwing them worms up there.
Is that a 10?
No.
How big is that?
He
How big is that?
about 4. Watch this. You want it? Huh? You don't want it? Oh God. That's a good one too, ain't it?
How big is that one? Like 5? I thought those were bigger than
13. That's a 13 pounder. No, just kidding. Let's get him back in. I hooked him in his tongue. I hope he don't die. You hook him in the tongue.